Hi, my name's Kelly and this is my channel, Let Me Take a Shelfie. So glad you're stopping by again for yet another book outlet book haul. Oh my goodness gracious. Why do I do this to myself? Why? I have BooksandLala to thank for this haul because if you didn't know, BooksandLala was just made a vlogger friend, and by just I mean I think it was like last month. Hopefully it was only a month ago, and as a, I guess, added bonus, she was given a code to share with her viewers, and I just happened to catch that code coming out. And that code was 25% off for 2 days. And I was like, oh my god, I need to use this because books, that's like super cheap for the books that maybe you've been waiting on because they were just a little bit too expensive. And so, of course, I had to act. So I blame you, BooksandLala. But seriously, thank you, BooksandLala, for being awesome and getting noticed by Book Outlet. So today I've got a haul. I don't know how many books are in here. I know that there's a lot of them, and we'll just have to keep count as we go along, okay? Sounds good. All right. So there's a huge box here. This is a rather large one. This is their larger box, so I'm gonna assume there's a lot in here. This is the point where I tell you I don't remember what's in here at all. I'm really hoping that I made good choices and thought things through and didn't just throw them into the cart, because it's gonna be really weird if I don't know how to tell you anything about them. What? Who needs scissors? We've got force of will. Oh my gosh. They take this one up real good. Oh, buddy, come on. Where does it end? What is this nonsense? I feel really stupid now for thinking I would be just fine without scissors. Okay, that works just fine. It's open. We're all good. All right? Goodness. Wow. What? All right, you want to see inside? Let's see, can I lift this without shaking the camera too much? Ooh, that was the invoice, no big deal. It's just gonna tell me what was inside, but hopefully I should have already known anyways. And then there's this wonderful paper. Woo, paper! Wow. That's an incredibly long piece of paper. Okay, all right. Starting to reveal books. Starting to remember. Oh my gosh. Ah! Okay, are you ready? Here's your first sneak peek at the Books of Awesome. Hot now. That was a struggle, man. The struggle is real in this video. Awesome. All right, so first off the top is a book that I continuously have been putting in and out of my cart. It just never seemed like the right time. It sounded awesome, but I just didn't know if I could afford it at the time. This book is Ashes to Ashes by Melissa Walker. It takes place after she has already died, and her job is to help her family get over her death. And it goes with that question, well, do I want them to get over me, or do I want them to remember me forever and, as a result, be always in pain? That's a difficult situation. So I thought this was super interesting. It was super cheap, nice and paperback and floppy. Oh my gosh, I love the floppy pages. This is wonderful. Super excited to get to read that one. So next I have finally in my hands the first to a book that I'd already bought a book series that I've already bought the second to, based on the fact that the first one sounded so amazing. This is Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. If you haven't heard about this, this is about a girl who lives in the South. I don't know what time period it is, but she somehow gets these superpower kind of powers that are given to her through a kind of accident. When she inherits the powers, she inherits the responsibility that goes along with those powers, which is protecting someone who she kind of dislikes greatly. So I thought that would be a kind of a cool drama. Plus it's a Southern belle who like kicks butt. So that sounds kind of cool and quirky to me. And this next one I thought was super interesting. It's actually a memoir, if I'm not mistaken. And I've been trying to get into the more nonfiction-esque side of things, and I'm definitely more into narrative than I am just plain old text. So this one is Struck by Genius: How a Brain Injury Made Me a Mathematical Marvel. Jason Paget and Maureen Seberg. But basically what happens is this guy, his brain is injured, and as a result he gets this condition called synesthesia. This guy sees the mathematical patterns of things when he hears water pouring out of a faucet, those kinds of things. So I thought this was going to be a super interesting look into all of the differences in how our brain works and function, and I'm super excited to read this. I don't know, I really like science and the human body and anything that has to do with finding out more about it. The next one's going to look a little bit familiar if you've seen any of my other book hauls. I actually got this for my coworker, and then when I got it for her, was looking through it and realized that it seems stinking amazing and that I wanted it for myself. This is another nonfiction, and this is called Candy: A Century of Panic and Pleasure by Samira Kawash. I opened up just to flip through it and make sure I wasn't giving her like a completely silly book. And I landed on a chapter which was talking about how people had attributed candy to like the devil's work, or rather it was completely dangerous and it would kill you because they were making candy with toxic substances. Like they were putting shoe shavings, like sole shavings, into licorice to make the color. That's not okay. Then like all of these other things, super toxic things, unnecessary things, but this is cute. So I've also been trying to get more into the adult fiction section because I feel like I've been reading a lot of young adults, and so I picked up The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared. And this is a story by Jonas Jonasson. The story is what it says. It's 100-year-old man is living in a nursing home, and he's like, well, this is the end for me. And he decides on his 100th birthday, I believe, that he's not going to take that, and he's going to go on the adventure of his life, except that it's not really the adventures of his life because he's had all of the adventures, and he climbs out the window and disappears. And it's all of the story of what happens and how he reminisces on everything that he's experienced before that. And it sounded really, really intriguing. This is another paperback. It is called Crash and Burn, and this is by Michael Hassan. I got this from the library, opened it, read the first like 10 pages, I think, and instantly knew that I was going to have to read it to the end, and my books had to go back to the library, and I couldn't renew them online because they were already like a day overdue, and so I was like, this sucks. I need to be able to read this. It was like a couple bucks, and I knew I needed it. Also, when I say floppy, I mean floppy. This is a story about two friends crash and burn. One basically saves the school from the other burning the school down. The one who saved the day, he's struck a deal to write a book about the day that he saved the day, to be redundant, and it's probably the book that he's writing in the book. It sounds so good because it features a main character who has ADHD, and I can relate with that, so I'm really excited to read this. I think it's going to be fantastic. A little bit grungy because the main character is who he is, but I think overall it's going to be worth reading. The next one has to do with mental health. It is called The Unlikely Hero of Room 13B, and it is by Teresa Toten. 13B, I guess, is a group for people who are, for kids who are dealing with mental issues. And the main character attends this group, and he's trying to stay out of the mental health ward of the hospital, and the girl comes and joins this group, and she's just recently escaped. And escaped, I mean, she was released from that ward, and she's attending the group to try and stay out. And the male character decides that he's going to become her superhero and save the day by keeping her out and not having her go back in. It's that whole question, is he saving her or is he actually saving himself? So I thought that'd be a really cool journey to go down and explore. There's so many good things. Oh my gosh, I forgot I ordered this. Oh, I'm so excited. I have wanted this book since I saw it at Target like a million years ago, and that is largely in part of this super cool see-through cover that when you're on this side, you are reading Lyra's perspective, and then when you flip it, you're reading Gemma or Gemma's perspective. And this is by Lauren Oliver. She's a very, very popular author, and I had a lot of kids that were into her, and so I was like, I need to check this out. And then I saw this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this in my life. And then I saw it on Book Outlet, and now it's in my life, and I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, it took me forever, but I finally got my hands on this. Like, this has been months. Like, it was in the winter time when I saw this the first time, I think. I don't actually know when it came out. It was a really long time ago. I don't know if you guys have heard all of the buzz about Frederick Bachman. He's the person who wrote A Man Called Ove. I don't know how you pronounce that name. People have been talking about him, raving about him, saying that he is a fantastic author. And when I saw this, I couldn't pass it up. It's just this endearing story. I got Britt Marie Was Here. And this is a story about a woman who is OCD, potentially. I think that people have said that she was on the autism spectrum, that she that she really likes a neat and tidy house. And I'm going to read this introduction, or rather the flappy-do for you, because it's just too endearing. This is entirely why I picked it up. Britt Marie can't stand mess. A disorganized cutlery drawer ranks high on her list of unforgivable sins. She begins her day at 6 a.m. because only lunatics wake up later than that. And she is not passive-aggressive. None the least. It's just that sometimes people interpret her helpful suggestions as criticisms, which is certainly not her intention. She is not one to judge others, no matter how ill-mannered, unkempt, or morally suspect they may be. But hidden inside this socially awkward, fussy busybody is a woman who has more imagination, bigger dreams, and a warmer heart than anyone around her realizes. Those first two paragraphs, that was what grabbed me. I want a story with a quirky character, with a character that's lovable, but different, and oh so strange sounding. Super excited for this one. So then, the next one I have here, I don't remember why I got it. I will figure that out in a second, but that is Lucy Keating's Dreamology. Oh, yeah. I remember. Okay. You know, you have that like recurring dream where it has the same characters and the storyline just kind of continues or repeats, where you see the same people. That's what happens in this character's life, until she realizes that the person who her dream has been featuring is actually a real person. And it's awesome. And I can't wait. I really want to read this. I'm really excited. But beautiful cover, interesting sounding story, cute contemporary-esque kind of dealio. Had to pick it up. So the next two are boxed sets, and the first is The Program and the Treatment by Suzanne Young. And this is pretty cool. Well, it's not cool. It's a dystopian book series that takes place in a world where depression has become an epidemic. So people are getting this crippling depression, and it's affecting mostly young people, and the main characters, I guess, become depressed. And the solution is to go to be treated by the government, which I guess the government's treatment is to erase your memories, which you can imagine is a pretty sucky situation if you happen to have liked your life. I don't know anyone personally who's read it, so if you've read it and you've liked it, I've got the first 2 here. Tell me if I should pick it up sooner rather than later. And yeah. And then last but not least, it's summer, so of course I have to get myself some summer reads. This is Morgan Matson's Detours, Do-Overs, and Dares. And inside of this box set is Amy and Roger's epic Detour, Second Chance Summer, and Since You've Been Gone. All 3 books had rave reviews on Goodreads. I generally don't buy anything from Book Outlet unless it has about 4 stars or higher, just because I want to know that if I have not read it or I'm not in contact with it personally, that I know it's a good story. And these all sounded really good. Hopefully I will be able to tackle them this summer. If not, I'm not above reading a summer book in the not summertime. That's my box. That's everything that I got with BooksandLala's fantastic 25% off coupon. I wish I could have gotten more, but I feel like I've probably bought out Book Outlet at this point in time. There they are, these wonderful, wonderful books. And there you go. In all their glory. Oh my god. Please subscribe if you haven't. Let me know what you're interested in seeing. And anyways, I will talk to you later. Bye.